to the Australian Championship.
The shot up the post and in. Continue to make history.
This rivalry burns as bright as ever.
That is a spectacular, it's incredible fairy tale.
And welcome to live football on SBS, the Australian Championship, and two teams searching for the best version of themselves. Sydney United with just a point in two matches, coming off a heavy defeat to West Apia. Their opponents, Metrostars, have played some attractive football, home and away, but have nothing to show for it so far. Two losses, two 1-0 losses, so the South Australian Premiers have not scored and sit bottom of their group, coming off a bruising encounter in the West against Bayswater City. And Metrostars are on the road this time in the west of the Harbour City and Sydney United Sports Centre at Edensor Park, home of some great talent over the years in Australian football. And two coaches who like to play an attractive brand of the game we love, but for different reasons have been unable to strike the right chord in the championship so far. The checkerboards are out, also a bit of sunscreen as well, because warm conditions in Sydney today, and it's been a busy last week and a bit for Metrostars, the premiership winners in South Australia, and Sydney United, of course, coming off a heavy loss in round two. Players about to enter the stadium. David Perkovic is with me, and David, you played a lot of your junior football here at this stadium, home of some amazing talent over the years, but I think the history and the nostalgia will be taking a back seat because these two teams really need a result on match day 3.
Yeah, both these teams are struggling so far in this championship. However, both have an opportunity today to get their first win on the board. I'm expecting Metrostars to stick to their possession-based style of football, whereas Sydney United will be interesting to see what they bring out today, because no doubt Artie would have done a lot of work during the week on areas that he feels he needs to get the 3 points today.
Absolutely, and we do know that they love to possess the ball. Metrostars, they play a really positive brand of football, guided by their coach Danny Greystone. In the traditional red strip, Sydney United. Adrian Archuli is with us for this afternoon's broadcast. And Adrian, the United faithful are expecting big things today. Welcome.
Well, the crowd is starting to build nicely here at the Sydney United Sports Centre, and I've got some young fans with me. Guys, pretty stupid question, but who's going to win today?
It's an.
And why is Sydney United going to win today? Why?
The greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time. So here you've had it, the greatest club in the world according to these young lads. Now, remember, scan the QR code, vote in the poll. I'm going to get myself a Javapi roll, sit and watch some beautiful football. A massive clash coming up in Group D.
Oh, I'm jealous. He's getting the Javapi before us. Oh, that's a disappointment. But anyway, we've got a game of football to call, and we know the waft of the Javapi is always ever present at Edensor Park as Metrostars are in the away black strip. And we can see their playmaker there on the right, Hamish Gow. And there's Ante Juric, the former Socceroo, who's got a very busy schedule. He's still the coach of the Sydney FC women's team that he's guided to 6 trophies over his long and successful tenure. Also leads the elite sports program at Matraville Sports High School as well, if he's not busy enough. But he's just restructuring and refocusing a new group of players for Sydney United. They finished the New South Wales NPL season with some gusto, but looking to get the championship back on track, as is the team in black. And we can see there Danny Greystone in the middle. From Macclesfield near Manchester, former Melbourne Victory Academy boss, who played his football in South Australia when he moved over from England. The fourth official was Thomas Daly. And there is the centre forward for the Metrostars, Jake Porter. Brodie Merchant is the man in charge. The assistants, Cameron Wright and Peter Jaworski. As I mentioned, Thomas Daly, the fourth official. And there it is. Match is underway, and we'll get to some of the changes for both teams in a sec. We just didn't have a chance to get to a starting list. And Blasica comes in the centre of defence for Sydney United. Krislovic and Aaron Basic, the other changes in the forward third. So 3 changes from that 4-0 loss to West Apia. It was a heavy loss too. So Ante Juric had no option but to make some changes. And Cameron Woodfin, the experienced American, has suffered an ACL injury in the West. So he's out for the championship and probably the NPL season in South Australia as well. Donatian Niankuru, the exciting winger for Metrostars, suffered a fractured ankle. And here's Krislovic with a really good cross in for Sydney United, threatening early. An early goal would be just what they need to settle the nerves. You know how resolute in defence the Metrostars have been in domestic football in South Australia. And getting in behind once more. Here's Rule. So good positive signs, and a little spill there. So a nervous take for Allstrike, who's been a really good between the posts for the Metrostars early in the campaign. First time these two teams have met in any competition play. A really positive start. Here's Farakoko. So turnover. Gao. Tip back. And good work there by the experienced Lockie Barr. And this is exactly the way Metrostars like to play, with a bit of composure from the back, and that was out. The wide fullbacks, Jackson Walls on the right, who wears the captain's armband. There he is in the absence of Fabian Barbiero, who is the oldest in this competition at 41. He's on the bench for Metrostars, and Scott Nagel will be the left back. And I know, David, you're picking up a couple of changes there.
Yeah, Sydney United, no doubt Juric has tweaked things during the week to try and get a response from his team. But he looks like he's starting with 2 up front, with Krislovic joining Aaron Basic in the front as a front 2, and then Aidan Milicevic and Farakoko on the wings, with Rose and De Oliveira holding the central parts of midfield. So interesting changes here. Let's see if it makes any impact on their playing style today.
Here's Blasica, who's in for the first time as a starting player in the championship. Fortunato will sit. He's the holding midfielder. Just sits a little bit deeper than Hamish Gow. Here's Jackson Walls. Lockie Barr, who's got all that experience with Adelaide United and Perth Glory. A costly turnover, and numbers forward here for Sydney United. A big opportunity this, the layoff and the finish against the upright. Wow, what a chance that was. It opened up superbly for Ante Juric's men, but they couldn't take their chance.
It's a really good driving run forward by Aaron Basic, setting up Milicevic. Good finish, but just missed the inside of the post. Getting onto the post and out, unfortunately, for Sydney United fans.
And that's exactly the cost of a turnover in the middle of the park when you commit players forward like Metrostars do. Here's Walls. Satira. And Metrostars win a free kick. Remember, they've been to the West, they've had their squad depleted, In fact, their request for a couple of additional players, we mentioned those long-term injuries, was denied by Football Australia. I'll get onto that in a sec. Here's Visser, who we thought may miss the match with what they thought was a cracked couple of ribs, but ended up being severe bruising, so a relief for Metrostars. He's an exciting player, the left winger. A little slip there from Gow. Remember, they play on AstroTurf, the synthetic surface in Clemsig in South Australia. A little slip there from Gow. Here's Farah. Farah Coco. De Oliveira, the player of the season for Sydney United, and they'll rebuild through the back. And we know in Koya Nakano, he's not a natural centre-back. He's been asked to play this position, more a defensive midfielder. Coco couldn't trap it. Walls did well. Let's see Lockie Barr make too many mistakes. Put his keeper under pressure, but they get out with some composure.
Really nice build-up here from Metrostars.
Looks like Visser getting in behind. Good chance here, just in behind Gow. Oh, moment lost there for Metrostars. It was a silky build-up. And it gets the applause from Danny Greystone. That's the type of football they like to play.
Yeah, they definitely like to play out from the back and build up, and their rotation of their midfield is where they get that little bit of freedom to get one player free facing forwards, and that's the key to Metrostars build up, and then it releases those forward lines once they be able to get that midfielder free and facing forwards.
Again, bouncing off the Metrostars and players forward here. Farah Coco in the middle, and a chance for Krislovic. And it's the opening goal for Sydney United. And they really did open themselves up there, Metrostars. It's been coming. They started the match with great gusto. And inside 10 minutes, Krislovic gives the home side a very, very valuable lead.
Yeah, good assists from Aaron Basic as well. Sydney United definitely did their homework during the week, with Metrostars like to playing through the central parts of midfield. But twice already in the opening 7 minutes, we've seen Sydney United pull off a really good press to pinch the ball in the central part of midfield and initiate that counter press and counter-attack goal, which Aaron Basic set up firstly Aidan Milicevic, but then secondly, which hit the upright, and then secondly, Krislovic was good enough to tuck it away.
Michael Krislovic, the son of the former striker Sam, who was obviously for a long time the main backer of Sydney United, going back to Sydney, Croatia in the NSL days. And there's an opportunity missed there by Chetadini.
Bit nostalgic for me growing up watching Tony Krislovic lead the line for Sydney United.
Yeah.
And now to have another Krislovic leading the line with Aaron Basic, and obviously his dad is another legend of the game of the NSL era. Fantastic start from Sydney United here.
There's that guy, Aaron Basic, one of the many Socceroos who've been through this very storied club. Here's Nagel. We'll get on to some of those stories throughout the commentary, David, because this championship is all about celebrating the history of Australian football with an eye forward too, and uncovering some young talent, which of course Tillo's on top of that list in this match. A lovely lob ball over the top. De Oliveira goes down a little cheaply. Barr hasn't cleared it yet. Now strength and composure, releasing Satira. They can play a couple of quick passes. When they play quickly, they're a dangerous team. Here's the centre forward, Jake Porter. Gow's got some space. Oh, just slipped at the opportune moment. We know he can strike them from a distance, Hamish Gow. And that was a very unfortunate slip for fans of Metrostars.
Yeah, he's slipped a couple of times in the opening period, but it'd be interesting to see how Metrostars respond after that early setback. Unfortunately, getting to the edge of the box there, Gow slipped over once again, and that crucial moment where he was pulling the trigger.
He was offered a recent deal with Hong Kong City Just a move to Asia, but rejected it to stay with the club that he's won a Mike Cockrell medal in the Australia Cup. Set piece and vision. He's got a very cultured left foot. So he's the most likely to unlock the defence as far as a midfield playmaker is concerned. He's got a lot of pace out wide too in Thomas Visser. Cittadini can peel out in wide areas. Here's Aaron Basic on the turn. Sydney United have started a lot the better. Krislovic stays onside. Coco in the middle. Krislovic, one touch. Just overhit slightly. Satira there to help out the defence for Metrostars. The Oliveira can ping a long ball. Good diagonal. And the flag was up for offside, so relieving the pressure somewhat on Metrostars. But when you come back from that type of a road trip where it was very blustery, physical conditions in the West, you lose a couple of key players. It's not always easy to reset when you come and you travel that distance, and you're not used to the travel now. Semi-pros getting used to these type of environments. Yeah,
and definitely back-to-back away games from the West all the way to New South Wales. They're up against it, Metrostars, but if anyone can do it, it's definitely them. They're definitely a good footballing side. Just need to be clinical.
All short. Cittadini has got good pace. He got into some great areas in the West. They did enough to equalise, but it's been the story of their two matches so far. Opportunities created, but not taken. The Northeastern Metrostars, who started their club in 1994. A couple of passionate football men and a coffee in Pulteney Street. Being from Adelaide, I know the cafes in Pulteney Street are pretty useful. And from there, Metrostars was born in the second tier of Saturday football as an amateur club initially. Now they're trying to recirculate possession. Here's Fortunato through the middle. Satira.
Metrostars being very, very patient. They're comfortable with this type of game.
A strike from distance by Fortunato.
Sydney United defending deep at the moment, which they had plenty of practice on last week, but against Apia. They've just got to be careful. Once that ball gets into that final third, Juric would want to get some pressure on the ball and minimise the chances created.
And Bedran Janjetovic, the veteran in goal for Sydney United, won't worry too much about shots like that from Cittadini. He's twice come out of retirement. At 38, he's the third oldest in the championship. Corner one here for the visiting team in black. Swung in by Gao into a dangerous area too. And that strike from distance again is rising but not threatening.
Sydney United conceding on a corner last week against Apia. They'll want to, no doubt they would have been working on that this week. Want to stay tight with their men.
Yeah, they were poor defending set pieces last week.
Yeah, well, Apia put on a really good block for the goal that they scored. Their free man got free after a block and put the ball back into the middle, and then Kelly did the rest. And sometimes the young players, as Sydney United's got a very young squad in this championship. At times they can be a little bit naive on those set pieces against those experienced players.
Lazica. Good composure playing out here.
Very good football.
That's really nice by Milicevic. And Aaron Basic made the run in behind it. Looked threatening at one stage.
I think Aiden just pulled the trigger on that pass a little bit too early.
And you had Marco Aaron Basic at Spirit from memory?
Yes, had him for the first part of the season last year. He was obviously playing a little bit of second fiddle to Akubo, who was red hot.
Here's Walls, and no advantage accrued. It was a pretty hefty challenge by De Oliveira.
Back onto Aaron Basic whenever he did get on the pitch, which was obviously regularly, he always contributed scored a lot of goals off the bench for us, and had a really good game against Western Sydney Wanderers.
You can see De Oliveira just leaving something in there on Jackson Walls. Long range free kick will have to be angled, but they've got the right man to do it in Hamish Gow. He was creating a lot for Jake Porter in the west.
Can definitely put it on a dime.
Will they go for the right-footed option of Cittadini, who takes some of their corners? Here's the left-footed Gow. It's well weighted back post, and that's a header on target, but you can see Janjetovic perfectly worked out his angles, and that's all the experience of veteran Janjetovic with a 10-year spell in the A-League with Sydney FC, and of course Western Sydney Wanderers. Started his career at United. He's been an ornament to the game at Australia.
Yeah, came into last season when they had some injuries.
It's a really nice open game, David. And Visser misses the mark with his pass. But, you know, when you looked at this matchup and what they've produced so far, you thought it may be open and it might be attractive, and that's the way it started.
And given the fact that both teams haven't won a game in the championship yet, both teams have to go for it if they want to keep their chances of live to progress in this competition.
Michael Krislovic's goal is that separates the two at the moment. Well taken after a very nice build-up from United. Walls trips it in. Well, Metrostar players are going over left, right and centre. Remember, they play on AstroTurf, or their version of at TK Shuttle Reserve. But as we know, there's different forms of artificial turf. So they haven't quite got the footwork right. We know there's different forms of boots for this type of surface.
Sydney United moving the ball around a lot better today than their first two matches. Players are a lot closer together, which helps the retention rate. Nice combination there.
De Oliveira tries to slide in Krislovic. Good intention, just a little off with the pass. And that should be another clear warning sign for Cody Ostrike, who's in goal for Metrostars. We've seen plenty of young talent on display during this championship. Gabriel Tillo's the youngest on the pitch for either side. The 17-year-old right back for Sydney United. Turned 17, I think, in week 2 of the championship.
It's a great opportunity for some of these young players to showcase themselves on the national stage. Impress potential A-League clubs.
Here's Farah Coco, just disappointing touch. Balls often makes the right decision, but this time it cannons in off Lockie Bar for a Sydney United throw. You know, of 3 times NSL premiers, this storied club, but never won a championship in the NSL. 3 times losers in the grand final. Rule. De Oliveira plays with that sort of laconic style, but very effective. Here's Milicevic, no relation to Ante. Coco, good sliding challenge, needed to be spot on there from Bar. Krislovic, Coco, spots Aaron Basic in space.
Uses his body well there to fend off the defender.
Milicevic tries the 1-2 and nearly came off there for Sydney United. So they're playing with fire at the moment, Metrostars. We know they like to commit numbers forward, and they may get a great opportunity through Visser.
Bit heavy on that pass, but they're still alive.
Porter just had too much to do there. And Tillo, he belies his years with his football intelligence. Gabriel Tillo, there he is. And at one stage last week, we saw the youngster come off the bench for Apia. Max caught at 16. Younger than Tillo, but just another great example of how these big clubs are blooding younger players and really exposing fans of this great game in Australia to the next generation. Gao spots the run of Sotiro in behind. Flag points to the goalkeeper, and he'd be pretty happy given what he experienced at Leichhardt Oval in that absolute demolition, really, you'd have to say. They had a better second half though, Sydney United. That should have scored. Well, they had a penalty that the wide fullback Bailey Rule couldn't convert. Former teammate Ollie Callitz had the smarts. In fact, I think he pointed to the direction that Rule struck the penalty from the spot.
Very brave goalkeeping. Did well. One thing I've noticed about Aidan Milicevic in possession, whilst defensively he's out wide, he's roaming in centrally, creating a midfield overload for Sydney United, and obviously this is a new formation that Sydney United's playing today. Metrostars wouldn't have had the opportunity to prepare against this, so it'll be interesting to see how Metrostars manages this.
So Michael Krislovic has given United an early lead in this match. Adrian Archili's there for SBS, and Adrian, we'll just see how this transpires. Visser, great touch here, and that's a top save, Vedran Janjetovic. It was a wonderful build-up. Jake Porter had a hand at that. Just a great example of how they can break really quickly. If they play with pace and purpose, they can do exactly that, Metrostars. And now it's in the midfield once more. We'll get to Adrian in a sec. Here's McNamara. Visser peels wide. Cross near post, and this time easily collected from Janjetovic. Just see a replay before we get to Adrian. What a chance that was. He's had a number in the championship. Jake Porter, 18-year-old, son of a former Socceroo.
Top save there by Janjetovic. Closed down the angle very early. Gave himself every chance to save that.
Yes, son of Joel Porter. And Adrian, it's been an open encounter, and I'm sure the fans of Sydney United relieved at the early goal.
Afternoon, Bash and Perko. Yes, Ante Juric is a very happy man. I'm sitting pretty much a metre away from him, and he's a very happy man so far, outside of that missed chance a short time ago. Metrostars are slowly finding their way into the game now. They struggled really with the forward movement in that first 15 minutes. United's front three has been really causing a lot of damage. With the fans, I was expecting a bigger crowd so far, but we're not sure if there's a sort of a solemn protest by some of the United fans, but it's got that tense mood around the ground at the moment. But the early goal sure has really livened up the mood here, you could say. United know this is a must-win. Well, both teams know this is a must-win game. And just in regards to the synthetic, it is a sort of a 5-year-old synthetic, a 2019-2020 synthetic. So it is a bit of an older sort of design. So I think the Metrostars maybe are struggling with that, whereas obviously United are used to playing on this. But very interesting game set up so far. Really interesting to see how Metrostars respond after going behind.
Yeah, thanks, Adrian. Thanks for clarifying that. It is a different surface at TK Shutter, probably a newer surface too, that the players are more used to. There is Michael Krislovic, who's got his Australian Championship campaign off the mark as far as the goal scorer is concerned. And they need to win because they coughed up a lead in that opening match against Bayswater and then completely outclassed the West's Apia. And Jake Porter receiving some attention off the pitch, and what a chance he had just moments earlier. Of course, Metrostars, who were one of the top scorers in the South Australian NPL, have yet to get off the mark in the championship.
Yeah, for all their good possession that they have, they've probably not created enough opportunities to score as they would have liked, and then when they have created those chances, They haven't really capitalised on it, which then builds pressure against the team. When you have a chance like the one that just passed and you don't convert, it builds that pressure.
Good work by Farakoko. Here's Rule. De Oliveira. Look at the space here. Just overhit. And just on that, they average 2.5 goals per match in the South Australian NPL. Metrostars. Best attack in the league, 55 goals scored and just 20 conceded in 22 rounds of football. Of course, 3 straight premierships, but they lost the championship in the grand final to Croydon FC. Danny Greystone's been such a positive influence on a team that set the theme and set the standards in South Australian football. Breaks well here for Satira. Here's a great opportunity for Metrostars. Still Satira. Now he's running out of options. Walls. Fortunato. Jackson Walls looking for the return ball from Cittadini, who just dwelled in possession. Here's a previous look at that opportunity, just perhaps in two minds there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When they get to that final third, they just lack that final pass or that final end product to create that opening.
Thomas Visser, the 17, is an exciting wide player for Metrostars. Cittadini to Gao. Hamish Gao sees the pass early. Cittadini on the ball now.
Even when you're playing against a team that's defending deep, as you can see with Sydney United here, you still need that forward movement just to give the defenders something to think about, and it creates those little bit of spaces in between lines.
Fortunato was just a little cumbersome in possession there. Coco's had a positive influence on the match. Rule.
Lovely by Rose there.
Yeah, Dylan Rose, who sees the run in behind. This is the right back, Tillo. He's got Krislovic in the middle and perhaps should have played that option.
Or Aaron Basic was the late run to in the box.
Oh, a bit of inexperience shown there by the 17-year-old.
Once again, that counter-attack from Sydney United creating problems for Metrostars. They just really need to ensure that their rest defence is good, or their offensive marking. And if they can get that right, not only will protect their goal, but it actually will give them more opportunities to score. Because as soon as Sydney United wins the ball and they look to break, if you're able to win that ball and within that first few seconds, there's a great opportunity to break down a defence that's open.
Look at that diagonal by McNamara. Satira tries to turn his man. Gow outside the area, clips it forward, but just too much weight. Porter was making the run, but just needed to be a little less penetrative. That ball from Hamish Gow. Just frustrated at having the space, but not the end product.
He just overcooked that one in that box. You just need, like I said before, they just need that final pass or their end product.
So there's the poll. Scan the QR code, and at the moment, well, who do you think will win? 14% to the team leading. There has to be an inquiry, doesn't there?
I'm sure that's going to get updated very soon after that goal. That might have been just taken before that first goal went in. But yeah, get on to scan that code and QR code and get your polls in.
Absolutely. Well, a player going down on the box. There was minimal contact on Jake Porter. Who's that Visser? That's Thomas Visser, in fact. Having a running conversation with Blasica. This replay will show, no, there's nothing much in that. Gabriel Tillo just going over across the attacking player. You always run the risk, don't you?
Yeah, good defending though. The number one in defending when you're chasing is to get your arm in front of that opponent without pulling their shirt or anything like that. You just want to get your arm in front so you can then defend that zone.
Well, one there by McNamara. Eight new signings for Sydney United.
Good hold-up play there and turned by Aaron Basic.
Aaron Basic does well. Can he get past McNamara? The answer is no. Visser drops the shoulder. Let's just see if they can build from here. They are a good transition team, Metrostars. Satira. Space to explore. Still directed cross though. He'll get a second bite at it, Christian Satira. Walls. He's got the full 1970s look going. The headband and the moustache. Ambitious 1-2. Bodies crashing all over the place, and in the end there is no impact for the visiting team in black.
Just when that ball goes wide for Metrostars, I want to see a little bit more movement in the box. Really trying to give something those defenders to think about. They're a little bit stagnant at the moment.
Gow certainly hasn't got his footing sorted out on this pitch. Actually been corrected by Adrian Archuli, who's always ever present in finding out information. In fact, the service at TK Shuttle Reserve is older than the one here at United Sports Park. Here's another good build-up. Near post, and again, Janjetovic trouble for the second time in that area, and the second time he's come up trumps.
Yeah, a little bit too easy for Janjetovic. They just need to pull that ball outside that 6-yard box and find jersey in black in that box.
He tried to deceive them with the eyes, but Janjetovic has been around a little bit too long.
It's good those near post runs are happening. That should free up other areas in the box. Crosser just needs to get his head up to see which one.
Fortunato, and it's just disappointing. He had options short and square.
Sydney United don't want to absorb too much pressure and give Metrostars too many opportunities to practice against their deep defence. They have looked good when they've pinched the ball. Just want to see that change of defensive attitude into getting pressure on the ball a little bit earlier in the phase of play.
Nakano saw the pass early to De Oliveira. Coco. Well, I don't think he meant to let it run for Krislovic. It almost came off.
I think he was meant to pass that ball out wide to Rule, but it kind of just went under his foot and just rolled into the keeper.
Difficult one for Porter to control, but he's done well. No foul there. McNamara. Visser drops the shoulder and almost plays Porter in. And that is the real benefit of Jake Porter. He can make those runs in behind. He's got good pace off the first few yards. And if the game gets stretched, that's when Jake Porter can come into his own.
Once again, there's not much forward movement from Metrostars. Just needed a little. Gale has just made a little forward movement there. Found the free pocket, and they find him.
Satira. Walls remains forward. Drives the ball in, but not with too much elevation, so it was easily defended by United.
I think that ball's coming in a little bit too early against a set defence of Sydney United. They need to probably just mix it up a little bit, Metrostars, when they get the ball into those wide areas. If United's defence is set protecting that box, might be just handy once in a while just to rotate that ball back out, keep possession, sustain that possession a little bit longer in that final third, build that pressure against Sydney United, wait for the opportunity to lose the ball, then to regain it, then to score.
Blazica. Aaron Basic, famous name. Zlatko, I'm sure, is looking on to see how San Marco is faring.
No doubt. Good man.
Very good man. Fair golfer as well. Here's De Oliveira.
Know that.
Can hit it out of sight. Satira. Coco tracking back and doing some good work, but Kristen Satiro marches on. Porter with a turn. He's just caught offside.
I think Sydney United a bit lucky there, they're all offside, because that could have been a penalty shout just on Jackson Porter. But he was caught on the wrong side of the defence. Good adjudication from the assistant referee.
And with those injuries to Neon Kuru and Woodfin, season-ending injuries, or at least for Woodfin for the NPL season, the Metrostars applied to Football Australia to have 2 other players drafted into the squad, the new signings for the forthcoming NPL season, Binyan Kabidi and Jesse Francesca, and the request was denied, which I'm sure was not a popular decision as far as Danny Greystone's concerned, because they've got 17 on the team sheet, 1 less than Sydney United today. Nagel.
Still have enough quality in this team to create problems and to get a positive outcome today. But at the moment, Sydney United are a bit comfortable, whilst they are absorbing some pressure at times. So far, they've been dealing with it fairly comfortably outside of that one-on-one with Janjetovic, who came up well.
Gao. Here's his midfield partner, Fortunato. McNamara can ping a diagonal. Found Walls. Oh, that's a great first touch. Jackson Walls near post. Final ball lacked a little bit of conviction. Easy on the eye, Metrostars. They just desperately need a goal and just to get their championship campaign kick-started. McNamara to Visser. Back to the centre half. The angle's a good ball near post. Wrong man leaping there, Satira. Not too much height to worry Janjetovic.
Sydney United need to keep the ball now. They haven't had the ball for a little while. They need some sustained possession just to balance out their energy levels.
Advantage played. Lobbed over the top by Dylan Rose. Here's a chance. Tillo. Coco arriving late. De Oliveira. Short for Rule. He can strike them from range too. Little flick from Aaron Basic. And Metrostars get themselves out of a tight situation.
Yeah, just that transition to attack there. They just played it out. But good from Sydney United to have that little bit of sustained possession after a long stint without it. Danny Greystone being very animated on the sideline, wanting to drive his team to make sure and reward them when they're doing well. He's trying to encourage them at the same time, organising them against this new Sydney United shape.
Krislovic. That's a robust challenge. Unlucky not to get the free kick there. Visser trying to turn on the afterburners, and that almost broke for Jake Porter. And sometimes, David, you just need that slice of luck, don't you, to get the confidence going and the belief back into the group.
Yeah, it's interesting with how much possession Metrostars is having in that opposition half. If they're able to clinch a goal before half-time here, it'll be set up the second half really well, because Sydney United has absorbed a lot of pressure since their goal, and Metrostars will then have a new void of confidence coming into that second half. So for Metrostars and the neutral's sake, they will want to try and get a goal. But again, interesting call by the referee there.
Yeah, maybe a fortunate free kick there for Metrostars. Adrian, what's going on the pitch side?
Well, the Sydney United coaching staff are currently having a very interesting discussion with the fourth official. They're very much against many of the calls that have been made in the last few minutes by Brodie Merchant, the referee. But yeah, it's momentum has well and truly shifted here. Metrostars have been the most likely to score for the last probably 15 minutes. Jackson Walls on the right. He is a very, very impressive player. I'm not sure if it's his talent, but I'm very jealous of his hair bash. I'm sure we're both in the same boat there. But it feels like Metrostars at the moment, a bit like a restaurant. They've got a great entree, but they just can't deliver the main meal, which is the goal. But it feels like it's only a matter of time. But a very, very interesting final 5 minutes coming up here in this first half.
Nice analogy, Adrian. Like that. Not quite sure about the hair reference, though, but we'll take it on board. It is an impressive set of locks there from Jackson Walls, that's for sure. So we're 5 minutes before the break, and we know that Ante Juric has been pretty vocal to the fourth official, and they're threatening without delivering the killer blow here. Metrostars, another build-up with promise. Cittadini on the turn, outnumbered. And it's good defending. The ball was out before the centre was delivered.
Let's see if Sydney United have the maturity to see out this half, or even better, get a second goal and head into half-time. On the flip side, well, Metrostars need to get back into this game.
And you were witnessing that their momentum shift late in the NPL New South Wales season. That 4 straight wins. They got to an elimination final, beaten on penalties by Marconi. So they played some good football on the back end of the NPL season in New South Wales. But they've had so many injuries, and we'll go through their injury list. McGing and Glassick out. Leroy Jennings, the Fiji international. D. Robillard and Mason Wells broke a foot, the 18-year-old. Wells with a touch, and also Luke Zavella.
And then Vestelitsa being unavailable for this competition.
Absolutely, yeah. So there's a lot missing. Here's Cittadini, chips it forward, and it's palmed wide by Janjetovic.
Fantastic save there by Janjetovic, especially at this late in the half. Keeps Sydney United in front. Bit of industrial play by Metrostars, getting that ball into the box. A little bit of confusion in the back from Sydney United, but Janjetovic winding back the years with that save.
Yeah, his radar for danger is very good. So close to the break. A corner for Metrostars. In swinger from Hamish Gow, near post, and delivered with pace too. So some nervy times here. And the shot first time there. And Jake Porter. Cittadini trying to slalom his way through. Or strike. McNamara. Fortunato. Cittadini had a couple of chances late against Bayswater to equalise in the wet and wind in Perth. Gow swings a ball with pace in. Needs to be defended by United. Still alive for Metrostars. Visser on the angle. And Thomas Visser misses the mark. But they're narrowing their focus late in the half, the visitors.
They're getting closer and closer. They either need a little bit of luck or just a little bit more quality, either on that final pass, but lately it's more so the finish on this occasion. Just pulled a little bit wide there.
Well, they play with an attacking philosophy. They're always going to be a little bit suspect at the back at times, given the way they do play. Chillo hooks it away from danger. Dylan Rose goes through like a steam train. And in the centre, Krislovic is there. He goes down cheaply, looking for the contact, but waved away by referee Merchant. And I think on the balance of what we saw, it was a fair call.
I'd love to see that one again, to be honest.
Not so convinced, eh?
I'm sure Juric is talking to that fourth official again. Maybe a little bit soft, but yeah. Could have gone either way. I'll probably side with the referee on that one. Just body to body.
Jackson Walls has had a very productive half of football. There's Satira, who had a stint in Italy in the lower divisions. 3 additional minutes to close out the opening half.
Sydney United taking their time on these breaks for throw-ins. Just trying to ride out the half now.
Krislovic. Rule. Krislovic sees the pass square. Controlled well. And De Oliveira can't get his shot on target. He played at Blacktown under Mark Critton, teammate of Mario Chabot as well. Brought to the club by Joko Kalats. Gao. Excellent first touch. Fortunato. Space to explore for Chittadini. Here's Satira. Satira with pace. It breaks for Gao. He can't find the target. And that's really summarised the campaign so far for Metrostars.
Yeah, just leant back a little bit on that one, on execution. Would be disappointed with that Gao. Would have been a fantastic way to go into halftime, just to level the scores up. It was a nice build-up play from the central midfield, all three getting involved in that build-up play to create that attack. Just need that little bit of quality on that finish. But they're getting plenty of chances, Metrostars. If Sydney United allow these chances to continue, sooner or later, if you get enough practice, you would expect them to break the deadlock. On the flip side, Sydney United still looking fantastic on the counter-attack.
Gao. Slow build up. Now wide is Walls. Likes taking on defenders, that's for sure, as a attacking defender. And the side volley is high, wide and not too handsome. It was closer, but could not threaten the goal of veteran Janjetovic. It was Scott Nagel, the left back.
Sydney United starting to drop a little bit too deep for my liking. Inviting that ball into the box a little bit too much. You want to get that pressure on the ball a little bit higher up the field, outside your final defensive third. Something that Juric can address at halftime.
And there it is, the halftime whistle has been blown, and it's a really attractive game of football. Probably not a defensive masterclass by either team, but at the break, Michael Krislovic's goal in the 7th minute separates the two sides. Halftime, it's Sydney United 1, Metrostars 0.
Half-time in match 2 on Super Saturday. Welcome back. It's Sydney United who have the advantage at home over Metrostars in this crunch match in Group D. An early goal, an early breakthrough, and from there, Sydney United quite happy to sit up and soak whatever Metrostars had to throw at them. Josh Parrish here alongside Scott McDonald for your halftime show. Scotty, Sydney United, defensive discipline front of mind after last week, and they've come out hot out of the blocks.
Yeah, great analysis there, Josh, in terms of Sydney United. Like you said, they started the game ever so well, hitting the post just after 3 minutes here with Milicevic. Great ball from Pasic, though, firstly here. As you just see, he gets his left foot round it, and just unlucky how it's the outside of the post there. But really, really good start for Sydney United, and just how they would really have wanted to start at the game. You know, on the front foot, fast, you know, putting Metrostars, you know, on the back foot. And it was a really good start that led to ultimately, you know, only 3 minutes later, the goal coming.
Yeah, forced turnover in midfield, and yet again it's Aaron Basic, the creator, Krislovic with the finish.
Yeah, you've got to say for, you know, Michael Krislovic there, he's got all the time in the world, and sometimes these can be a lot harder, you know, to finish and pick your spot. You get in that moment, where should I go? But he picks his spot ever so well, sends the keeper the wrong way with the eyes, and 1-0 after 6 minutes, and Sydney United looking really, really good at this stage.
Well, after that, the onus was on Metrostars, who are still yet to score a goal in this competition thus far. And they threatened Vedran Janjetovic repeatedly, but the veteran goalkeeper up to the challenge.
Yeah, great first touch from, obviously, Porter here. Janjetovic, though, coming up trumps, you know, the experienced goalkeeper, closing the angles off, making a wonderful save, you know, with his legs. And you have to say that they're really missing that Michael Windsor, aren't they? You know, Metrostars, who scored ever so many goals for them in the league. And it's up to Porter to lead the line for them.
You could see the stats at halftime pretty even. The hot start from Sydney United, as we mentioned, Metrostars coming back into the contest with all the possession in the latter stages of that first half, but they still can't quite find a breakthrough.
No, they can't. Look, Gow's been ever so impressive, obviously, you know, running things in the midfield for Metrostars as well. Look, I think the message would be clear, you know, at halftime for Metrostars. Just keep doing what we're doing. You know, we've got to try and continue to go side to side, try and break through. But obviously there's a wall of Sydney United players, you know, in that box as well. And they seem to be comfortable, you know, playing on that low block and trying to catch them on the counter at the moment.
Well, let's check in on the sideline at King Tom with our man, Adrian Arciuli.
Thanks, Josh. A real tantalising opening half here at Sydney United Sports Centre. Sydney United, they really dominated that first 10-15 minutes of the game. Got their goal through Krislovic, well-deserved. Probably should have had a penalty towards the end of the first half. They looked a stonewall one to me, but referee Brodie Merchant had other ideas. Ante Juric and his coaching staff haven't been happy with some of the challenges from Metrostars, but he's let the play go, and Metrostars have really dominated probably mostly 30 minutes of that first half, and really unlucky not to find the back of the net. And it feels like a matter of time before they will get back on level terms and get their first goal of the campaign. So a really interesting second half coming up here. Massive when you think of the context of Group D and who progresses to the quarterfinals.
Adrian Arciuli there at King Tom. Well, let's look back on our first kickoff of the afternoon. Marconi versus Wollongong, a crunch game in Group B, and it was Marconi who emerged victorious in emphatic fashion. 3-0. William Accio got us underway.
Yeah, wonderful finish here. Like I said, takes his first touch, readjusts his feet, and slides it lovely into that near post. And just before half-time, controversial, maybe not, but they get the penalty, red card, and make it 2-0 with Franco Meyer. And then young Noah Anderson putting his name in the spotlight, scoring after, I think, about 67 minutes with this absolute thunderbolt.
And they loved it in the chain rooms as well. The Marconi players and supporters, coaching staff piling in there to celebrate a massive result. Puts them in the box seat to progress from Group B. Well, we were able to catch up with the man of the moment, the boy of the moment, 17 years of age, Noah Anderson, is with Alex Molchanov.
Here with 17-year-old goal scorer Noah Anderson. Mate, you've had a taste of the championship in the opening week. Now you got the first goal. What was it feeling getting that one in the back of the net?
It's a great feeling. It's exciting, and I just want to thank all of Marconi here for giving me the opportunity to even be on the pitch, and looking forward to playing more, yeah.
And what was behind that switch? Because you come from the SD Raiders where you had success earlier in the year. Was that a decision just to give yourself an opportunity to put yourself on the national stage?
That wasn't in my mind at first. I just wanted to play the highest level of football I can, and Marconi offered me the opportunity to do that. So I took the opportunity, and yeah, I ended up here.
And learning off all these guys, having Marco Jesic, Jake True, Damien Sekenis has been around this club for a very long time. What have you learned about the values at this football club?
I've learnt a lot. One of the most important things I learned was discipline. Showing up on time, all that stuff, and all the extras that go into training and the hard work and the intensity. I've learned it all from them, so props to them, yeah.
Congratulations, Noah. Well done,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Fantastic. The young man grabbing the moment and grabbing the microphone.
I bet say he wants the ball when he wants the mic as well. Fair play to him, full of confidence, the young man.
A fantastic finish from Noah Anderson. We're going to take a short break here. Second half coming up on the other side. Sydney United 1, Metrostars 0.
Sydney United Sports Centre, and there is Ante Juric having a really good chat to Thomas Daly, continuing the chat from the first half. Of course, both coaches desperate for some points, and 3 points really, given the state of this Group D. Metrostars, of course, have not got a point in the championship so far. But it's Sydney United with the opening goal. Michael Krislovic, the only goal of the match. Marko Arambasic provided the assist. So they're sitting on a goal cushion, but it's not convincing given what Metrostars produced after the goal was conceded for them, because there were plenty of chances, but not too many clear-cut. And worrying veteran Jan Jedovic, David Perkovic is with me in commentary. And David, it was a really interesting first half of football. I think Metrostars need a lot better end product, don't they?
Yeah, for all the possession that they had in that first half, especially after that first 15-minute block, they had a lot of the ball, and a lot of the ball in Sydney United's half. They created probably enough. Maybe not enough quality chances, but of the quality chance that they did create, just needed that cutting edge in front of goal, that little bit of quality to find the back of the net.
You see Gabriel Tillo make those marauding runs down the right. A couple of times he was off the leash in that first half, the 17-year-old, who's the youngest on the pitch. Long throw from him. Krislovic can't control it, neither can Fortunato, so De Oliveira takes over. Sliding in was Blazica. Fair challenge to the referee.
Important challenge that one was.
Walls to Barr. Just caught out with that Krislovic goal, both set of halves. Let's see if Metrostars can win the ball high. And that's an iffy challenge. Here's Arambasic. Marko Arambasic. And I think it was a little bit of Lockie or the Jackson Walls in that attempt. It almost caught Ostrike out.
Krislovic has got a problem in the middle of the field with his lower back. But it was a very, very good chance there for, as we see here, for Arambasic. He tries to cut across his defender, which is what you should do as a striker. But McNamara seemed to just get a toe on it, which could have had a consequence, but the keeper, Ostrich, was up to it. A stroke, rather. So you can see the Sydney United, a couple of players, Chimenti warming up, just in case.
Yeah, they've got some good depth on the bench. Tomilic, they're currently the most experienced player in the squad. Chimenti, as you mentioned, Ayuk Mo, Richard Darko, Ivancic, Cartagena, which is he's a great prospect from Canberra, and there was the incident that resulted in the issue with Michael Krislovic.
I think he'll be right to go again, by the looks of it.
In attack, they have got a lot of depth. It's in defence, they just caught a little bit thin on ranks, Sydney United.
Well, they had Tomilic on the bench, who started in the first couple of games, and Jordan Ivancic can play a role at left back as well. But other than that, you're right, there's definitely a lot more midfielders and attackers.
Giardini trying to weave his way through. Fortunato with a clever touch. Here's Visser.
As you heard at half-time, Sydney United have been comfortable sitting back and just taking the opportunity on the counter.
Krislovic backing himself. McNamara got his body in the way.
But the issue with that is that if Metrostars do find the goal to level up, then Sydney United, having this be their second home game of the championship, definitely need the 3 points. How do they then change their mindset and their style to get back into the game or get back in front? But so far. They're comfortable, Sydney United defending deep. But it'll be interesting to see if Metrostars do equalise, what that happens.
Satiro wriggles free. Gow's seen plenty of the football. He had a couple of chances outside the area too, but failed to worry and draw any save out of Janjetovic. It's probably the story of the first half for Metrostars. Coco does well, but not so the central defence. And a big chance! Oh! The follow-up is in, and Metrostars equalise. The opening effort was pinged in by Jake Porter, but Visser has come in to play his part, and that is a tremendous equaliser for the South Australian visitors. Well, Jake Porter's had a couple of big chances. Satira with the assist, Porter the shot, and Chittadini turns it in for the follow-up. Johnny on the spot.
Essentially identical goals in the sense that the turnover of possession is the creator in these first two goals of the game. Metrostars turning over the ball higher up the pitch. I thought I noticed a little subtle change in the way that...
Visser lays it off to Chittadini. They're coming with a full head of steam. Chittadini's shot was charged down. Flicked away by Milicevic. Coco clears the danger area, and on the turn Aaron Basic's touch was a little heavy. He'll get a second opportunity here, Marko Aaron Basic. His shirt was pulled back. No foul, said the referee. It looked like a clear shirt pull.
Okay, definitely opening up now.
Here's Thomas Visser just gliding past Tillo. He was a little naive in defending there. Visser cutback is good. And this match is fully stretched.
Yeah, as I was saying before, I noticed a subtle change from halftime with Metrostars, just clipping that ball beyond that first line of defence, trying to get that initiation of that press a lot higher, and that's where the goal came from. They turned over the ball high up the park, just on the edge of the attacking third, and that became the creator of the goal.
Visser, Gow, space here for Gow. Thomas Visser scored some nice goals in the South Australian NPL, but couldn't get that one on target. Walls, good touch inside. He's a positive attacking fullback, but that delivery was poor.
Now, as I said before, it would be interesting to see if Metrostars equalise, what change Sydney United happens, because they've been absorbing this pressure, comfortable, but now that it's 1-1, they need to come out of their shell a little bit more to try and take the initiative in this game.
Jackson Walls came up with a really important intervention there. United on the march. De Oliveira. Coco turns it wide. A lot better possession here from the home side. Got the right man on the ball, De Oliveira. Here's Tillo. Short he goes, good combination. Milicevic! And just tantalisingly over the crossbar. That was the sweetest build-up of the match so far from Sydney United.
Metrostars definitely need to do something about Aaron Basic. He's central to all of the creative chances that Sydney United are making. He's holding up the ball well, setting it up for Milicevic, who cuts on his left foot. Unfortunately, couldn't get it on target.
Let's send it down to Adrian Arcelli. Adrian, it's been a helter-skelter start to the second half.
Yeah, Bash Perko, I've just checked the clock. It is actually the 54th minute, not the 90th minute, because you'd think the way that this half started and the way it's been stretched, you would think it's getting towards the end of the game. But it's what a lively start. This has been an absolutely cracking game. Both teams now, you can tell, know this is a must-win, and Metrostars obviously got the goal they rightfully deserved. And Ante Juric's message straight away was simple, was silly passes, silly mistake, snap out of it, guys, and they did that straight away there, creating a chance. But what a 40-odd minutes we have ahead of us. Down to just over half an hour ahead of us, because I'll tell you what, this is a massive for both teams in their campaign.
Fortunato Nagel. Scott Nagel swings a good cross in. This time it was a little too close to Janjetovic. Just needed some pressure at the back post, which wasn't forthcoming for Metrostars. It's a poor clearance. And what they don't want to do is just compound the pressure. Lovely touch from Gow. Not so from Fortunato. Turnover here for Sydney United. Gow. Jackson Walls has presented himself so often in this match. Got through a power of work. Such a good all-round player for Metrostars. Satira. Still Christian Satira. Breaks for Nagel. Will he take a ping? No, he won't. Visser will reset for Metrostars. A lovely angled ball. Satira, good touch. And the cutback's good. What a goal! Stunning! Thomas Visser, the goal scorer, but Christian Satira with a moment of genius to open up the pitch for Metrostars. It's 2-1.
Fantastic bit of combination play in that final third by Metrostars. After they're getting their first goal of the championship, their confidence in front of goal is really shining through now. You can see that in that phase of play, that combination play on the edge of the box and into the box, and that fantastic finish. What a game we have on our hands now.
Well, it's been helter-skelter, really, end-to-end from the opening whistle. You can see the build-up. The awareness of Visser to make the run, but Satira spotted the run. That was the most impressive part of that move.
Yeah, the finish of that left foot off Visser on the volley. Fantastic bit of class work there from him. Fantastic goal indeed.
Well, they've come to the west of Sydney with a purpose. Wasn't it so much of a purposeful start, conceding after 7 minutes, but their second half has been absolutely phenomenal. Here's Thomas Visser on the burst once more, and another opportunity for Metrostars. This time the danger averted, but just. It was Jake Porter just off balance when he looking to swivel. And maybe Krislovic will be in, but he'll run out of room. And what about that for a chance of a third goal inside, 15 minutes of the second half?
Yeah, a lot of talks on the sideline now between Juric and his coaching staff, trying to find answers to try and stop this wave after wave of attack from Metrostars.
Jackson Walls on the burst. Porter ahead of him. Here's Cittadini. Michael Cittadini angles it well. Visser onside.
United getting really stretched now in defensively. Let's get back their compactness. Obviously, young team here. They're just a little bit rattled. They just need to get through this phase.
Cittadini thought about the shot. Might open up here for Fortunato, who lets fly. Fortuitous rebound there from Coco, showed too much of it to Walls. And just lunged in with the challenge, so free kick to Metrostars. And they're rattled at the moment, the home side.
They surely are. I think there was potentially even a handball there from Farah Coco. But yeah, they are a little bit rattled. They need to settle their mindset. They just need to get a grasp back into this game. They need to get a little bit more pressure on the ball, a little bit higher up, but they just need to settle their minds. The game's not over, they're still in it. As you can see, goals change games. And they can definitely get back into this game. They just need to settle their nerves, compose themselves, and slowly get back into this game.
And Nagel looking for the 1-2. Didn't come off there for Metrostars. The message would have been clear from Danny Greystone at halftime. Just do more of the same with a bit more quality in the forward third, and that's exactly what they brought to the opening minutes of the second half. Can they sustain their efforts though? That's the question. Is there a way back for Sydney United?
Yeah, goals give you confidence, that's for sure. And as we saw, it rattled Sydney United for a little bit, but let's see how they go here. Trying to recompose themselves, get a little bit of possession, settle the game down. get a re-grasp of that goal. As I said, it's dangerous to defend deep when you're a 1-0 lead, because if the opposition get that goal, the momentum shifts and that pressure builds, and you have to try and rechange the game again.
Here's Farakoko. De Oliveira telegraphed the pass, but they've kept it alive, United.
Milicevic coming off his wing here to try and create a little bit of an overload. Saw that in the first 15 minutes of the game, but not so much since then.
Shoulder-to-shoulder challenge by Satiro on Coco, and now Agao breaks with purpose too. Carried it too far. It's a yellow card, free kick, and a frustrating challenge there for Dylan Rose. Gao's not the quickest over the pitch, but he did well to maintain front position there.
A little bit of frustration there from Rose as well. Not sure how dangerous the situation was. It looked like the defence was well positioned to deal with it. It looks like a couple of changes, at least one change or two. I see two changes looking like for Sydney United. Mo and Leonard looks like is gearing up to contribute.
And Mark
shortly.
Leonard, young man from Western United. But, United will have a free kick to defend first. Nervous times for Janjetovic and the home team in red. To the back post, and that's a really good setter. And the flag is up though. Goal won't stand. It was a good build-up. Well rehearsed and almost well executed there by Metrostars.
Just went a little bit early at the back post there.
McNamara. So the two central defenders combining, and Krislovic's afternoon has come to an end. Replaced by the 18-year-old Mark Leonard. And Coco off for Ayuk Mo. So two players that can make a difference.
A little bit of a change. Noddle has been playing more of a midfield role in his early contributions into the championship, Oz Championship.
Chittadini.
Looks like he's picked up that number 10 jersey. Number 10 role, I should say. And Mo on the left straight swap for Farakoko.
Here's Nagel, lay off for Visser. They were relieved when the ribs came back as just strained and not broken from that trip to the west. Satira has had a very productive second half. Chittadini likewise.
So renewed energy in the final third for Metrostars. Their movement is just a little bit more sharper, has a little bit more purpose to what they're doing. And like I said earlier, Goldsbury gives you confidence. They're definitely playing with a bit of confidence now.
There's no doubt they don't have the same type of depth as Sydney United on the bench though. Bunch of young players, so it's whether that takes its toll on the remaining minutes. And that's a lovely ball in behind as Leonard, and the centre is good. But numbers back for Metrostars, and it's Jackson Wall saving the day. Leonard tries to hook it back and wins the corner for United.
Could have been Lockie Barr there. Got a toe on that, which was a great intervention, but a nice little pass in behind by Aiden Milicevic, trying to find Aaron Basic in the box. Probably deserves a goal, Aaron Basic, for his contributions in the final third.
Milicevic, well defended by McNamara. Is that a ping from long range? It is, but nowhere near its intended target. And Dylan Rose. Of course, brother Lockie played last night for the Jets in a very Impressive performance against Melbourne Victory, it must be said. And this is a great springboard for these young players to be on a national stage, getting the type of exposure they're looking for as the oldest man in the championship. A one-time Socceroo, Fabian Barbiero, at 41 years of age, is on the pitch, and we know the quality he can produce. He's been asked to do it, for the best part of 25-30 minutes in this match. Hot conditions in Sydney's West. Coming back from a groin injury that kept him out from mid-season. Really plagued his NPL campaign from Metrostars.
A little bit more of experience in that midfield now to shore up that midfield to prevent one, Sydney United attacks, but two, start the build-up.
Here's Tillo arriving late. That's a high boot. McNamara, maybe he's played the advantage. Didn't see the signal from the referee. Dangerous high boot. Thomas Visser, one of those younger players that has stamped his mark on this match. Yeah, with the travel and the injuries and the effort, the output they've put in, especially to start the second half, you just wonder Metrostars don't get a third where the fatigue will play its part. Blasigat with a mistake, and that could be costly here. Porter is in. Oh, wrong option. Jake Porter might get a second chance as Visser was stopped in his tracks by Blasigat.
Blasigat making up for his mistake with that sliding for that ball to kick it out, and that attack from Metrostars. Metrostars definitely have more control of this game, and as they did for majority of the first half, but for majority of the first half they were trailing 1-0, so Sydney United, be interesting to see. They've already made a couple of changes in one moment, and it'll be interesting to see how long it will be before Urich looks to the bench once again. Definitely need to try and swing the momentum once again and get more of that football into Metrostars' half, so then they're players that can create, get closer to those areas where it can be really hurting the opposition.
Nakano plays a good ball out wide. United look to build and use the expanses of the pitch, and it falls the side netting there, and the shot fired in by Aaron Basic. Tight angle, and I think Ostrike had his angles covered.
He's won himself a corner. He's a little bit upset with himself, but he's very capable on his non-favoured foot. As you can see, it's a well-hit strike, just angled it a little bit towards to near post. He would have liked to get that angled more towards the back post. Across the keeper.
Swung in by Milicevic, back post. Numbers there for United. Aaron Basic can't hook it back on target. Well, ever so close to the equaliser there, the home side.
I think it was Leonard that rose at the back post there, getting that header on goal. Unfortunately, once again for Sydney United, hits the woodwork.
Good depth to the corner. Keeper beaten. Aaron Basic had the second bite, but just couldn't wrap his boot around it.
Actually, I think it came off McNamara after Leonard's header. I think if it wasn't in the way, it might have ended up in the back of the net, or would have forced Ostrike to force him to make a save. But Sydney United creeping back into this game, getting more field positioning.
Here's De Oliveira, plays it early.
Just a little bit more movement. Nice ball.
Angled ball, and the opportunity opens up. Tillo. Now suddenly Metrostars under the pump. Satira has to butt it forward, a very uncharacteristic Metrostars ball. Just trying to relieve the pressure. Jake Porter tries to run it down but runs out of room. And it is tough conditions, hot. The players have had a lot of travel, so that is going to play a factor, you would think.
Well, but the scoreline will give him the energy. When you're in front, you find more energy. There's a lot more positivity going around compared to the first couple of games.
Well done there by Christian Satiro. Chittadini was asking a lot of his number 8 in the return ball. Nakano pings it long. The run made in the middle by Leonard.
Just a little bit heavy there by Basic with that pass.
You can see Barbiero just playing as that midfield shield. He's not going to have the legs at 41, but he's certainly still got the passing range. Well trapped by Walls. Here's a good build-up. Satira just trying to slow the pace down.
He's also got the experience to coach what's in front of him.
Now getting involved, Barbiero. Played that one Socceroo match against Q8 in an AFC qualifier many years ago. Of course, a long career with Adelaide United. Played all of his club football in the City of Churches. McNamara wants a short option. Chittadini, and that's a good angle ball. Gow needs the right touch, gets it. Satira, a very good technical team, aren't they, to watch, Metrostars?
Absolutely. It's so Sydney United here, as that ball travels back from Metrostars, we saw this against Apia as well. Just want to see that defensive light creep forward to try and get their midfield closer to the Metrostars ball players. This will allow them to then initiate when they have the opportunity to initiate a press. But now you can see how far away Aaron Basic is from the rest of the team as he breaks there.
Gow tries to turn and push, but no foul, says the referee. And the ability now to transition. Milicevic. Rose to Oliveira. Mo can make a difference. Ayuk Mo. Tillo made the run in behind, but Mo looks to play it more centrally. De Oliveira. And body's in the way there. Lockie Barr, I think, got the defensive touch. And that's overhit. A strike will tidy that up for Metrostars.
It's a little bit better from Sydney United. Keeping the ball, waiting for the opportunity to create. Just don't want to get too defensively deep, because then they have 70-80 metres to get to the opposition goal.
That's a well-weighted ball. Gow to Chittadini, who stretches the legs once more. 2 to contend with. Chittadini tries to get to the byline, but in the end Nagel provides the option. And they play with pace, and it's going to be difficult in these conditions to maintain that type of tempo. They are a very dangerous team, Metrostars.
Patient creating here, because there's not a lot of pressure on the ball from Sydney United. And Sydney United are the ones chasing the game. So they can just pick and prod until they pull a defensive player out of their structure, then to find that little gap. And they can be as patient as they want, because they're the ones in front.
McNamara always looks for that angle ball. The touch on Chittadini, it fell beautifully for him. It was a fortuitous rebound as Jake Porter was lurking, but Michael Chittadini, who's had a number of chances in the championship, of course scored the opening goal. As D'Angelo, who was brought on as a makeshift striker late in the match against Bayswater, more known as a centre half, and that's exactly what he's come on to do, replacing the experienced Lockie Barb.
And some fresh legs to chase in behind Sydney United break, which is obviously important. It looks like there's another change happening as well with Sydney United.
That's the Canberra-born Perechina, Michael Perechina, the attacking midfield, just 17 years of age. He's a very, very good prospect. Sweet left foot. Let's see if he can have an impact on the outcome of this match. Of course, there he is, the 14. Echoes of Ante Juric, because Ante was a Canberra boy. He used to drive up to Sydney to watch his beloved United. And that's exactly what Perechina has done. He forced his way into the United conscience. That was a very muscular challenge by Walls on Aaron Basic. And that's what can happen when the conditions and the heat stretches the limit of the players. Those misjudged challenges can start to occur. 15 minutes of regular time plus stoppages remaining, or just 14 now ticking over. So set piece here for Metrostars to defend. Aiden Milicevic, who had that great opportunity early in the match, played in by Aaron Basic, couldn't finish, found the outside of the upright. Clips in the free kick. Centrally, Gow has to defend. Barbiero involved as well. Basic tries to turn his man. Wins the corner though, does pretty well to do that.
He's had a very good game. Marko Arambasic set up a number of chances for Sydney United. Hasn't really had an opportunity to get one for himself as yet, other than that left-footed strike.
Cody Orstrike's an interesting player. David, he was offered a short-term deal with the Newcastle Jets, but decided to stay with the club. Of course, a native of Brisbane. He's really made his mark at Metrostars. Largely the reason that they won the premiership, the third in a row in South Australia. McNamara in behind. Lovely first touch by Visser to control it. And just dwelt in possession a little long.
Sydney United can't get too desperate here. Need to be patient.
Nagel. Here's D'Angelo. Just left a little short by Barbiero, who tidies up his poor square pass. They just have to be fully concentrated here. The fresh legs of D'Angelo off for a gallop. May break the other way though. He's onside. And the centering ball is good. Aaron Basic with a great chance. Perechina inside the area too. Ayuk Mao tries to get past Nagel, who does really well, the experienced defender. And how about that for an opportunity to equalise? Marko Arambasic, who's done so much good work, and it opened up like the Red Sea.
Yeah, he does well there to get that ball across. Marko Arambasic just waited for that ball to come to him a little bit too long. But it was well defended, well blocked by Metrostars.
It was Fabian Barbiero in the end.
That experience goes a long way. A little bit of a worry there for Nagel, who clutched the back of his hamstring after defending Mo on that byline. So hopefully he's okay.
Use of the body there by Chittadini. No foul. The defender's arms were all over his neck as Aaron Bassett is released, but the wrong side of the defender.
Just needed to arc his run a little bit more there instead of running straight onto it.
What a great chance that would have been too.
Leonard has had a positive impact on Sydney United's midfield, playing in that number 10 role now. He's initiated a lot of these press. When he starts closing that ball player, I just want to see Sydney United's defensive line step up with him to just minimise the spaces in between lines.
In behind, here's Jake Porter. Chittadini can ice it here for Metrostars. Chittadini off the upright. Visser screws the shot wide. Two excellent opportunities there for Metrostars. They had the goal at their mercy.
Fantastic opportunity there for Metrostars to double their lead. As we go back to the replay, Chittadini puts it onto his right peg, hits the post, and then Visser pulls it wide. He should have really done better there, Visser. But could this chance to double their lead and not converting bite them as we enter the last 10 minutes of the game of regular time?
And that's going to just increase the energy level somewhat, you would think, for the home side. Visser trying to make amends. He's got one player ahead, which is Porter. Nakano should tidy up, which he does. Adrian Archulius pitch side. Adrian, the conditions must be playing a part on the players.
Yeah, Bash, it was kind of interesting. The sun came over the grandstand and it seemed to liven up United. It was absolutely steaming, obviously with the synthetic pitch as well, which makes it feel about 10 degrees warmer than it actually is. But definitely they picked up their intensity and have been unlucky not to get back in it. Obviously, Metrostars just missed a golden chance to put the ice on it, but very much aware of what's at stake here, United. They've about to make another substitution. Instrumenti's about to come on. They're really going for it here, knowing that if they lose this, it's all but curtains for their championship hopes as it gets a bit heated out there.
It's getting very heated out there, Adrian. And there was a pretty ordinary challenge on Chittadini, which sparked the afters. Not sure what you made of that, David.
Yeah, I think there was an initial tackle that the referee seemed to be happy with that Sydney United wasn't, and then the subsequent challenge afterwards. It'd be interesting to created a bit of afters, but it'd be interesting to see how the referee deals with this. It's getting quite tense, the game, as we enter the final phase. Sydney United desperate to get back into this game.
He's got the yellow card out, but has he brandished it at anybody yet? Referee Marchant. Now he has.
Book. And someone else.
Quite pick up the second. I think it was Barbiero for the reaction. And was it Milicevic for keeping something in on Chittadini? We'll just get confirmation of that. He was across to the player pretty quickly. It was just more a tangle of legs and Barbie. there you go, the two old stages going at it. And Nedovic across really quickly as Metrostars try to protect their goal cushion after having a marvellous double opportunity just minutes previous. Paracina. Gets caught under the feet of Milicevic and hacked away from danger. And it's going to be that type of clock-soaking effort by Metrostars that may get them across the line. Saw Adrian mention how hot it is pitch side with the radiation off the artificial surface. Not easy for both teams, and here's a great opportunity. And the angled ball off the up arm, it was confirmation of Fabian Barbiero's booking. Kyle Treminti with that previous chance.
He just let it bounce a couple of times where he probably should have, if he had a few more minutes and a few more touches on the field, he probably would have got it onto it a little bit quicker. That is what he would have liked to happen. Just waited it to try and let it sit for him and quite didn't.
Milicevic tries his from long range as Satira now has to defend. Barbiero. And it's going to be taken back. Mo. Bailey Rule does well. And D'Angelo sets the danger.
Nice little megs on the byline there by Bailey Rule to try and create something. Fortunately, just that through the legs was a little bit heavy. That allowed D'Angelo to come across and defend that moment, which was obviously imperative to keep their lead.
Porter has had to do a lot of defensive work as well as those attacking opportunities, and can't hold the ball up there. He was outnumbered 2-1. Lassica. Need to find that energy, and that's a good turn by Rose. Mo closed down quickly. Clever ball. At a Gina. Here's Nakano. It's been a really good addition to this Sydney United squad from Northern Tigers. Kicked away by McNamara. Getting to the interesting stage of the match, they need to create something, and very quickly. They move it quickly too through the middle. Here's Ayuk Mo. Still Mo. Can he get the shot away? Tillo drives it low. But aware of the danger, Cody Ostrike got down very sharply indeed.
Yeah, nice little bit of interplay there from Sydney United as they get more and more desperate towards the 90 minutes. No setting up Tillo here. Just not sure if that was a shot or if that was trying to cut it across the face of goal for someone to tap it in. But either way, Ostrike deals with it. And it's survival mode for Metrostars, trying to get something on the break.
Now Gow will try to orchestrate. He's held the ball well. He just run out of options, but Hamish Gow's done really well to keep that ball alive for Metrostars. He was searching for Jake Porter, was on his heels though, the youngster. Just need to make the right decisions from this point. Nagel. Cittadini helps it on. Valuable time running away from Sydney United. Of course got a point, but also suffered a heavy 4-0 defeat against Apia, so it won't do their goal difference the world of good if it comes down to that in this group. Remember they had that lead in the first match against Bayswater, let it slide late.
At this point, they need to worry about points first before goal difference. And having 2 home games already, it's not the ideal start Sydney United would have wanted or needed. But the game's not over. They still can try and manage to get something out of this game to keep their hopes alive.
post play by Gow. Hope you're enjoying this championship action live on and free on SBS. D'Angelo just a little bit cumbersome in possession there. He won the free kick. Maybe got a little fortunate. And here's the additional minutes. I'm sure Ante Juric will be looking for a big number. McNamara lost it up to Visser. Tillo, that's been a really good contest. Just a poor pass there by Tillo. He opens up to Cittadini, shoulder on shoulder. I think it was fair. And United come out. D'Angelo heads back and nods back to Ostrike, who just take as much time as he can. 4 minutes of additional to see this match out. 4 minutes of opportunity, I'm sure, for Sydney United. On the other side of the ledger, 4 minutes of game management.
No doubt Juric will be unhappy with that number of minutes, given that the number of substitutions have been made already in this half, as well as a couple of incidences that stopped the game. But still, 4 minutes it is. They've got at least one more chance in them, surely.
Wonderful work there by Dylan Rose to get himself out of a tight situation. Numbers forward for United, as you would expect at this stage and situation of the match.
Yeah, Dylan Rose has had a very, very good game at the anchor of United's midfield, especially in possession. Reinforcements about to come on. Some young names too for Metrostars. This will no doubt add to the injury time, or stoppage time. Lachlan Zapala about to come on for the remaining minutes. Thomas Visser's done his job. Thought he'd missed the match after that heavy knock in the west, but Cittadini, so 2 goal scorers replaced. Anthony Rapuano is the other to come on, just 18 years of age. Young number 8, junior, come through the Midi Rouge program. And hasn't Jackson Walls got through a power of work on the right side of defence for Metrostars? Been very solid today. If they see out the rest of this game, it's been pivotal to Metrostars' performance. Time running out for United. Helped on by Barbiero. Possession will be at a premium now. Hagel will go back to Ostrike. Walls sends it forward. He's just happy to see it run out and the gain valuable seconds just ebbing and flowing away for the team in red, who are desperately searching for their first win of the championship. Of course, 8 new faces in their squad. Big list of injuries. No excuse Ante Juric is using, but certainly has been a transitional squad for the championship for Sydney United. Energy sapping conditions. Warm day in Sydney, and of course the artificial turf really amplifies that. They need it at the other end and very quickly. Here's Satira trapping it well. Christian Satira. Rapiano with his first touch. Here's an opportunity for Satira. Will he shoot? Trying to run down the clock. Rapiano.
Wasn't keen to go to the corner flag. Piano may get an opportunity and lets fly from outside the area. Didn't really sting the palms of Janjetovic, and this may be the last roll of the dice about to occur for Sydney United. Laziga, Attilo. Wide it goes for Bailey Rule. Let run by Nakano, who stayed forward. Now at the referee's discretion. Breaks for Mo. Just couldn't get the power on the shot to worry Cody Ostrike. Thought he might take a little bit more time with the clearance, but he was keen to release it and may have opened the door for a final flurry for Sydney United. Rule. Parachina floats it up. Mo leapt far too early, and that should be it for Metrostars, and it is the first win of their campaign, coming from behind against a game Sydney United who could not protect their lead. And Metrostars approach the second half with great attacking purpose. A shake of the hand, but I'm sure disappointment for Ante Juric. Krislovic scored first in the 7th minute, but they came out with tremendous purpose. Michael Cittadini and Thomas Visser, the goal scorers, inside 5 minutes of each other in the second half. So all 3 points to the premiership winners from South Australia. The final score at Sydney United Sports Park, it's Metrostars winning by 2-1.
Whatever Danny Greystone said at halftime has borne dividends. Metrostars turned it around. What a comeback out at King Tom, and they take all 3 points home to TK Shutter Reserve. Stay tuned for our post-game show on the other side. Live and free on SBS. This is Super Saturday. Metrostars picking up the win. Josh Parrish and Scott McDonald to take you through it all on the other side of this short break. massive turnaround for the Northeast Metrostars, who come back from an early 1-goal deficit to put 2 past Sydney United and pick up their first result of the Australian Championship campaign. Josh Parrish here alongside Scott McDonald for all the full-time reactions. Scott, Sydney United got their early lead. Were they too passive?
Yeah, look, I think once they scored the goal, they came right off the game, didn't they? And we're looking to try and catch Metrostars on that counter-attack. And we did say at half-time as well, if it was to continue that way, Metrostars were going to continue to keep that pressure on and create chances. It was just a question of not, can Metrostars obviously take their chances? And they did in the second half, and they finally got off and running, didn't they? Not just with points, but their first goals of the tournament as well.
Well, let's first hear from the losing head coach. Ante Juric is with Adrian Archuli.
Well, not the result Sydney United coach Ante Juric would have wanted. Ante, are you proud of the guys? Every one of your outfield players in the starting lineup was born in the 2000s, and it probably showed during periods either side of half-time.
Yeah, I'm extremely proud. I'm more proud, yes, they're a young group, but the effort and attitude was outstanding, especially in the first 20 or 30. They dominated a few patches. We hung in there. Disappointed about the 2 goals, and that comes with inexperience. We sort of gave them those goals. Outside of that, we didn't really concede many chances, even though they dominated. So, yeah, extremely proud of, 1, their age, 1, but 2, just the effort and attitude, and we could have maybe pinched something at the end. But disappointed to lose at home when I think we could have got something.
Halfway through the group stage now, how do you pick the guys up? Because obviously you need to start getting wins pretty quickly, starting with the round 4 game.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't coach. This sounds dumb for wins. I just want the effort. Eventually things turn. We're obviously still trying to win. It's a given. But as long as they work hard like they did today, things turn around. Whatever happens, results, sometimes up to God, but it's they work like that, I'll be happy. We obviously need to get points if we want to get to the next stage. But from that, if they keep playing like that with that attitude and effort, I'm going to be super happy and proud, and usually you get results when that follows. So.
Yeah, and obviously now it makes it a big clash. Sydney United next face Bayswater City in what is a must-win encounter.
Ante Juric there, still positive, still encouraging. A very young set of players, it must be said. They're so short-handed with all the injuries in the lead up to this competition.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and like touched on there, they started the game ever so well, but just that inexperience as well, going a goal up and then sort of coming off the game. And as we see, they had a wonderful, start to the game. Krislovic with this cool, calm, collective finish. Like I said in the commentary earlier, that you've got all the time in the world here. Sometimes that can be a bad thing as a young striker, but he picks his spot and they get off to a great start. But then they come off the game a little bit as well after this and let Metrostars start to dominate the game. And that was pretty much the passage of play till the 2 goals go in from Metrostars. And then all of a sudden they came out again and created chances.
Well, Sydney United did have a couple of opportunities in this second half themselves.
Yeah, they did. And look, as the game went on, there's Milicevic was one that just over the bar. I think we'll see in the next passage as well. Leonard hitting the crossbar with one as well. And look, they were a threat on that transition. This is Aram Basic as well. A lovely block, you have to say. Strikes it well, but of all the places he strikes it right into the back of the Metrostars defender there, with all the goal gaping. So, look, they'll be kicking themselves a little bit in terms of that, like, Ante Juric said there, that moment, that spell when they went 1-0 up, that they let Metrostars back into it, and then all of a sudden come out again and went, well, we need to go for it. If they had kept that momentum and attitude, potentially maybe the result could have been a little bit different.
Well, let's hear from the winning head coach now. Danny Greystone is with Adrian Archuli.
Well, I'm joined by a very happy Danny Greystone. Danny, how does it feel to get your first win of the Australian Championship?
Obviously really, really good. It's a tough place to come, difficult side, all credit to them today. It was a real tough game for us. Look, we've had a tough draw. We got 3 away games on the trot, so I think all credit to the boys going 1-0 down. Nice hot day today in Sydney. It was, and you can feel it on the AstroTurf pitch, so to sort of come back the second half and control things the way we did, to be quite honest, I think it could have been 3 or 4. We took our chances quite easily, but look, character-wise, fantastic.
Now, what did you think when the ball wouldn't go in the first half and then it just sort of started the second half, bang, bang, bang? Did you feel that was just the deserves for what has been a great opening 2 games and now 3?
Look, I think so. I think one thing we've noticed about this competition, look, the defending's much better. You know, some of these sort of shots that fall for you and some of these moments we've just been working on. We've just got to be tighter. We've got to be more clinical, a little bit smarter with our deception in and around the box, and a little bit smarter with the balls we're playing into it as well, with terms of just playing lofted balls into smaller players. So we worked on it a lot this week, and we've got a lot more work to do on it. So it's we'll keep the work going.
Well, Metrostars have got their first goals of the tournament and also their first win.
Danny Greystone, a very happy man. What did they do differently in the second half for you, Scott?
They took their chances. It's as plain and as simple as that, because there wasn't a lot wrong with after the goal and how they played in that first half. You know, they played some fantastic football leading into this, and as we see, this is the opener. Porter with the original shot, and then it was Chidiadini with the rebound goal. Janjetovic with a wonderful save, you have to say, on the first strike there. And Porter, you know, was a lively character throughout the game. Just couldn't get his goal, but led the line ever so well for an 18-year-old for Metrostars. And I think that's what Danny Greystone was alluding to in terms of, you know, just looping those balls into the striker. They've got someone that's a little bit smaller, but they came out, you know, out of the blocks firing in that second half, you know, in the 50th minute getting the equaliser, and then 5 minutes later, you know, getting the one to take the lead.
Well, let's check in with the skipper. Jackson Walls is with Adrian Archuli.
Well, I'm joined now by Metrostars captain Jackson Walls. Jackson, I hope you got a GPS tracker on. You got through a mountain of work, mate. How are you feeling? Because it was steaming.
Yeah, it was a hot one today, but yeah, I think I've done a few Ks there. No, it was all credit to Sydney United. They put us under a lot of pressure, and we had to do a lot of running to combat that.
Talk to us about you go into half time, created a bucket load of chances, just couldn't put it in. What was that to start that second half? How important was it to get those 2 goals so quickly?
Well, that's right. I said to the boys, we scored the first one. I think we can score more. We just need that belief. We haven't actually scored in the championship yet, so we just need that belief, and I'm glad we got it.
But you're starting to doubt yourself, because it does get frustrating, doesn't it, when you just can't find the back of the net?
No, I believe in the boys and the chance we create. We just couldn't quite put it in the back of the net, and we've come up against some good keepers, so they've made some good saves.
Well, Metrostars, they're going back to South Australia very happy. I know it's lightning and raining back there, but they're going home with the 3 points in the bag.
The lid is off for Metrostars, and you could see the difference in confidence as soon as one finally hit the back of the net for them. They were playing some sensational combinations.
Yeah, they were, and I think, like Danny Greystone said, they could have had 3 or 4, you know, in quick succession, you know, just after this. And this is a lovely little give and go from Wisla. Sotirio here, you know, with the setup. And you have to say, it's a wonderful first-time finish with the left foot on the volley there. Absolutely no chance for Janjetovic in goal there. And that was, again, exceptional play. And they were breaking the box a lot better in the second half, you have to say, to what they were, you know, in the first half. Sydney United were having that low block, making it a lot more difficult. But this little give and go here, he gets to the line, Sotirio, and, yeah, wonderful finish from Wisla to make it 2-1.
Yeah, tidy finish from the young man Visser, who's got huge raps on him in South Australia, and you can see the stats tell the story. Metrostars dominance, 15 shots to 11, 7 on target to 5, eventually finding a way past Vedran Janjetovic, and they could have had a few more.
They could have, you know. Visser, I think it was hit the post. No, he got with the follow-up. Sotirio hit the post as well. You know, so they had some opportunities at 2-1 to extend their lead, but as the game went on, they haven't had a win in the competition yet. They were sort of, you know, backing off a little bit. Sydney United come back in the game, which made it all the more interesting, but they managed to hold on and get their first 3 points.
Well, let's see how that affects the table, because it's a mammoth result for Metrostars. They were nowhere in this competition before this afternoon, and suddenly they're a big chance to progress. In the other group, South Melbourne leading the way in Group A. Marconi temporarily top of Group B. I'm sure Heidelberg will have something to say about that tomorrow afternoon when they face South Hobart. But a +6 goal difference for Marconi Stallions after the last 2 weeks. It's a sensational result for them against Wollongong today. Avondale top of Group C after the scoreless draw against Preston Lions last night. And Metrostars move up to 3rd, just a point behind Bayswater City, who are in action tomorrow against West's Apia in Perth. And that's going to be a massive game. Whether Franco Parisi decides to shuffle his pack, because we know Bayswater tend to take a pretty physical approach. Here's the games coming up tomorrow. It's Broadmeadow Magic at home to South Melbourne. They've been full of goals, Broadmeadow, so that will be a cracker. Heidelberg versus South Hobart, obviously the Australia Cup finalists, heavily favoured in that one. Moreton City playing against Sydney Olympic, could be another goal fest. Spirit have to get the job done against Canberra Croatia Spirit, as impressive as they've been, still without a win. And then, as I mentioned, Bayswater versus West's Apia. It's never going to be an easy game out there for you in WA.
No, it's always difficult with the travel as well, and Bayswater will be hoping that that is an advantage for them, you know, even against West Apia, who have been magnificent in this competition so far.
Well, that's just about all we have time for this afternoon. Scott, thank you so much for your company, and thank you to the viewers at home for tuning in. Marconi victorious in the Battle of New South Wales by 3-0. A few controversial moments in this match, but nothing beats the backflip celebration from William Archeo. And then Metrostars, their sensational comeback to beat Sydney United and reignite their hopes of progression. It's been an action-packed afternoon. We're going to do it all again tomorrow on SBS On Demand and live on YouTube as well. You've been watching Super Saturday in the Australian Championship. We'll speak to you again next time.